Hello pretty people, today I am going to be making some soy wax wraps. These are to replace things like cling film and aluminium foil. So you use them, you wash them, you keep using them, you put them on the in your fridge, and yeah, you don't have to worry about things. You can buy these in zero waste shops and the like, but they're usually about £8 for around 2 of them, and they're super cheap and easy to make. So I thought I would make some. I've already been instructed by my mother on how to do this. She made an example one, and now I'm going to try and follow her instructions. So what you need is a baking tray, some non-stick baking paper, some wax of your choice. I have a small amount here, but we did buy this 5 kilogram bag of soy wax, which was only like 20 odd quid, I think. Beeswax also works, but of course it's not vegan, and it's slightly more expensive than the soy wax. So we've got our wax here, a pair of scissors, and fabric that you're using. I have a load of shirts and old bed sheets, and some of these pre-cut up stuff from old shirts as well. You can use whatever fabric you want, really. Obviously the most sustainable thing, just use stuff that you don't need anymore, and these shirts have nice pretty patterns. You also need an oven set to 100 degrees Celsius, and some oven gloves for the oven. So, first of all, what we're going to do is cut our non-stick baking paper to the size of our pan. So what I'm going to be making first is a pocket, because these are actually really useful for keeping things like avocados, cheese, whatever you want in, because you can make a little pocket of cling film. See stuff. Now I'm going to do this. To do this, I'm cutting around the pocket and up the top so that there is a flap you can close at the top of the pocket. This was not very neatly done. I will clean up the edges. Ta-da! We have a small pocket which you can fold over. Next up is a with all of them. For this one, you're going to put wax both inside and on the outside of the pocket. If you're using a flat sheet, which I'll show you in a second, you just put wax on the outside and you just grab some and sprinkle it out. I'm going to sprinkle it on the inside first. With soy wax you do need slightly more than when you use beeswax. Just spread it out and spread it over. Maybe a little bit too much. And you just spread it on however you want. As I have room on my tray, I'm going to be getting another piece. Yeah, let's use this one and fold it in half. You can fold them in half. Let's make my eyes zing. Please stay put. And next up, when you've got enough to fill a tray, you're going to want to put it in your preheated oven. When you put your waxed fabric into the oven, it really only needs a couple of minutes. You can just watch it, you can literally see the wax melt. And when the wax is more or less melted, it's liquid on most of the fabric, you're going to just take it out, put it on the table, make sure you put it on something that's not meltable, like slate, and use your brush to spread the wax. Be careful with this because it is going to be really freaking hot. Oh, that's dry a bit. So as you can see here, it's mostly melted, but we need some more around the edges. This pocket hot. It is nice and melted, but again, just spread that around the edges. I think that one is done. So this one, we're going to go hang up on a peg. Show you in a minute. So, I made a mistake here. As you can see, this pocket is glued shut by the wax. When you make pockets, you need to make sure that when you're drying them, you dry them open, otherwise they stick to themselves. So this is going back in the oven to melt again so that I can open it to dry it. Yay!
A few moments later.
And Mr. Pocket is all wet again. Hot. And hot. Make sure to dry it open. And then this one, we're going to want to put some more wax where there hasn't been any so far. And we're going to shove that back in the oven for another few minutes.
Moments later.
Right. Ah, there we go. See, that's spreading really nicely. Ow. But it is hot, so be careful. So we're just gonna dab up the edges so that there's wax all over it. Is there any of this without wax on it? Yeah. The last stage of the process is to hang it up. They do dry pretty quickly actually, but you want to dry them so that they're flat out all the way if you can, because if you don't dry them flat out they will dry wrinkly and then you will have wrinkled wax wraps. That is the word I was looking for. As you can see, here is one we made earlier and here is our new one, and we're just gonna peg this bad boy up. Now we've made two, let's carry on. I'm going to make a massive one, I think. Fold it up. Look at this bad boy. Don't know what I'm going to cover with this, but something. This might be too much, but let's put it in the oven. I've lost my oven gloves though. Where are mine? Ah! They were hiding in plain sight. Right, these are going in the oven.
4 moments later.
I have my giant sheet back and it looks like the wax has spread over most of it quite well. Okay, the bottom layer is quite waxy. But there's still some bits that aren't, so I fold it so that we've got all of the spare bits out. And then we just put a little bit more wax all over it. And hopefully that'll cover all the dry bits. Woo!
Few inches later.
Putting some more wax over the dry bits really worked. Look at him, beautiful. He's waxy and ready to dry. And that is the biggest piece of cling film I think I'll ever need. And now I'm just going to make a load more without filming it because the filming is taking up quite a lot. I'm getting confused basically. So I'm going to make a load more and then get back to you with the finished product. Hello again, we are done. I made quite a few, and I made a few absolutely massive ones. I do not know what I'm going to use this for, but it seems like a good idea. I have my pocket, which is going to be very handy. I have a little pouch with no other end, so I might sew the bottom of this up and make it into a little pouch. Yeah, various sizes. An absolutely massive one. So yeah, I think I made about 10 in total. Yeah, 10. Just as sort of a starting point. I mean, it should be enough for me to do my everyday stuff with. So I'm going to finish off with a few tips on how to make these best. First of all, you do not need a lot of wax. You need slightly more soy wax than you do with beeswax, I think, but you don't need that much. The tub that I had on the table is all that I used for all 10 of these, and some of them are absolutely massive. We started with 5 kilograms of soy wax And we still have pretty much 5 kilograms of soy. Secondly is when you're doing the edges, you're going to get frayed edges from cutting whatever. If you brush sideways instead of brushing out, you're less likely to get them. You could sew them up at the sides to prevent that. It's not really necessary. You can just trim along the edge when you're done. That works fine. When you first take the stuff out of the oven, just be careful with it. I got a bit too excited a few times, went to pick it up. Leave it for a few seconds before you pick it up to check that everything's soaked. Because it is, as you would imagine, pretty hot when you first get it out of the oven. Another thing is that you can make pretty much anything you want out of these that you can sew. An idea that I've had is to make little bags, so you can make sandwich bags, little bags to just keep things in the fridge, sew it up and then wax it, because whatever you can sew you can then wax, which is super duper handy. Another tip is the bigger is generally better. Maybe not necessarily this big, but when you think about it, when you take cling film out to use on stuff, you generally take a pretty big chunk of it to like wrap around your food. Although small ones are handy, like you need to, if you think about it practically, bigger ones, easier to wrap around more things. So you might think, oh, just make a nice small square that's nice and cute, but definitely bigger squares tend to be more practical, I would say. Yeah, so that's it. If you make these yourself, then do let me know. That was fun. I have had fun. That along with the set is a blog post, so if you want to read up on this, I will have it in written form with pictures and instructions so that you don't have to keep watching through the video if you don't want to do that. So the link to that will be around and below. See you soon!